Today on the show, I'm going to actually solve all the problems in your life. Okay, maybe not all, but some that have been really a big problem in your life. Have you had that life where people keep coming up to you and saying, listen, you've got white wax coming out of your ear? Solved. Have you had people saying that wax isn't doing any noise cancellation? Solved. Have you had people coming up to you and saying, I want a Realme phone to actually compete with the OnePlus? Solved. You want a Vivo phone that actually takes on all the competition under 10,000 rupees? Solved. That and a whole lot more happening on the Cell Guru show today.
We got our hands on the AirPods Pro, which now come with active noise cancellation. How do they perform? And are they the best earphones out there? Find out as we spend a day with them. The phone that made headlines with its 50-watt charger and charging capability is here. Meet the Realme X2 Pro, the best phone from Realme. But is it the best phone to buy? We tell you. And we review the sub 10K smartphone from Vivo, which is big on battery and performance.
So you know the Apple AirPods is going to be our top story because it solved two of our problems. The first is it's actually a noise cancellation headphone, and second is finally they changed that form factor that was not something that I was a big fan of. So let's take a look at these. So these are, as always, typically of what Apple does. You can see the form factor is completely different and the box says so very clearly. Then of course, as soon as you open it, designed by Apple in California, that of course obviously means it was manufactured in China, but that always also means it's a great product. And then of course that beautiful, beautiful box that they come in. Now remember, like almost everything else in this category more or less was invented by Apple. The box is also your recharger, not your charger only, but your recharger. Just on itself, it has a battery built in. It will give you more battery life. And within that is, of course, the AirPods, and these now have a brand new moniker on them, and that is AirPod Pro. Now, Apple seems to be using this Pro version or Pro word now for a lot of things. Earlier, it used to be Pro as in for professionals. Now, the way I look at it is, it's in their lineup of things. This is the best of their category. That's how you should look at their Pro. They have it in their phones, they have it in their MacBooks, they have it in their iPads, they now even have it for the AirPod. The biggest difference, of course, besides the so much better form factor, I mean, it's still kind of less wax coming out of your ear. It's still there, but now it actually works much better. The noise cancellation is great. The battery life is fantastic. It's truly a Pro version. So Rubina then spent a few days with these to really find out, could these be the ones that she switches to permanently?
Love them, hate them, but you cannot ignore the Apple AirPods. Now these headphones, these wireless headphones are the world's most popular headphones, and that's why it only makes sense for Apple to keep upgrading them. And so I have with me the upgraded version, the professional version, the Apple AirPods Pro. And today I'm going to take you through my entire day with these. Apple recently launched the Pro upgrade of the AirPods with active noise cancellation and some new features, but they do cost about 25,000 rupees. So should you invest your money in it if you are an Apple user or even an Android user? I'm going to answer that with my experience with these AirPods, which I'm going to actively use for an entire day. The AirPods Pro do have a new look and feel to them. The wireless case is more horizontal, unlike the vertical AirPods 2 case. And even though it's slightly bigger, it still goes comfortably inside the pocket. I mean, look at it. It slides nicely even in the smaller, useless pocket of my jeans. The new earbuds are shorter with more curved stems, which benefit as they improve the call quality. We will check that when I later pick up calls on it. Now, let's start by pairing the new AirPods. That's what I like about Apple. All devices can be seamlessly paired. In this case, I have an iPhone ready and working, and all I need to do is open the case of the AirPods Pro, and just like that, there's a pop-up on my screen which asks me to connect, and I'm ready to use them. Unlike the last AirPods, which did not fit me well because the one AirPod on my left kept falling off, the Pro's fit is impeccable because once I wear them, they have a perfect fit. The AirPods Pro box comes with different silicone tips. I chose the medium one, but how do I know they're perfect for me? Well, Apple, to make the Pro smarter, has created something called Ear Tip Fit Test. I did it and yes, it's the perfect fit. Just in case if you say you don't have the perfect fit, then you get a message that says try a different trip. Now that I'm all set with the pros in my ears, it's time to start the day. Let's take them out for some exercising and running. I love the fit of these. They held on to me and I didn't even have to worry about them falling. Plus they are sweat proof, so again I didn't have any concern of them being damaged. The pros can be paired with the Apple Watch, so I left my phone behind, which makes so much sense. You know that feeling that you get with noise cancelling earphones like you're underwater? You don't get in these. Apple has put these small vents on the outside of each earbud to equalize the pressure between inside and outside of the ears. Now it's time to get ready and head to work. I'm on my way to NDTV and I'm wearing the AirPods Pro. Currently the noise cancellation mode is on and I have to say that the noise cancellation is legit. It's really good on the AirPods Pro, it works really well. But now that I'm going to be reaching a traffic signal soon, I will switch on to the transparency mode. So I've reached NDTV and I have to say that the transparency mode works very well. I mean, I could listen to the traffic noises as well as my own music and I managed to make it to my work. But now let's talk about the headline feature of the AirPods Pro, which is the noise cancellation. It was convenient to switch. All I had to do was long press and hold the stem. I can toggle between no noise cancellation to transparency mode to the noise cancellation as per the environment. Now let's talk about noise cancellation. Well, it works and here is how it works. The active noise cancellation continuously adapts to individual ear geometry and headphone fit. An outward facing microphone detects external sound and AirPods Pro then counter it with equal anti-noise, cancelling outside noise before you hear it. An inward-facing microphone listens inside your ear, enabling AirPods Pro to also eliminate unwanted internal sound with anti-noise. The call quality is excellent on the AirPods Pro and even though they are short, the person on the other side could hear me clearly.
Hi Rema, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
It's almost evening and the AirPods are still charged. The controls are better on these. Press once to play, pause or answer a call, press twice to skip forward and press 3 times to skip back. They will also auto pause when you remove one bud and you can use them one at a time like the older AirPods. I do wish there was a similar way to control volume, for which I'm required to touch the screen or ask Siri. Now, I could use Siri too, but to me this seemed more convenient. The AirPods Pro sound great. They may not be the best sounding earphones, but they are fun. I can listen to any kind of music on it and enjoy it. That's the beauty of these wireless earphones. It's the end of the day and I have to say that these AirPods are perfect for me and I will buy them for myself. Now they are smart, they sound good, they stay put in my ears and the noise cancellation works really well. Now if you are an Android user, then I would suggest don't go for these, buy another pair of headphones because they are very expensive for 25,000 rupees, as they won't give you the same experience you were expecting that you get on an iPhone. But if you are an iPhone user, then yes, they are the perfect companion and they will get you through your day with a skip in your step, and who wouldn't mind that?
Now we're moving on to our next story, but this is a tease. This will come next week. This is the Realme 5S 48 megapixel quad camera powerhouse, 5000 mAh battery and a Snapdragon 665, and it's under 10K. Now that's the tease. I'm not even opening it. Even the plastic is on this. All I'm telling you is it's with us and we'll take a look at it next week. But the phone that I have is the phone that everyone has been waiting for. There's been so much of rumor about the fact that Realme, doing so well in India now, will take on OnePlus in its own territory, and how. And this is the Realme X2 Pro. You know, Pro, this version, this term now is used and misused and abused by everybody. But here, in this time, it actually makes a lot of sense. Now, this is quite a phone. So, a Snapdragon 855 Plus, 64 megapixel quad camera, that incredible fast charger, fantastic screen and a great looking phone. So let's embrace a new journey. Well, it's a new adventure for Realme because they're going into territory and into a space they've never gone before. This is Realme playing in the 30,000 plus variety and category. For a company that is just years old, I think it's incredible they've been able to do it so quickly. So this then is the Realme X2 Pro. Great looking, fantastic cameras at the back, great camera in the front. It still does have a water drop notch. So that's the part that a few people were very surprised about, because most people thought they will do a pop-up camera for their Pro version. But other than that, the specs look absolutely fantastic.
What could charge laptops can now charge a smartphone. Meet the new Realme X2 Pro that brings a massive 50-watt charger with it, one that is almost equivalent to a laptop charger. At 29,999 rupees for the 8GB RAM variant, Realme is gunning for the flagship segment, and this is their most expensive phone till date. So, has Realme dealt itself a winning hand with the X2 Pro, or does it leave us wanting more? Let's check the phone out and see. We got the Neptune blue color variant for review. There is also a striking concrete and red brick color that the master editions of this phone come with. This is a phone that feels heavy to hold in the hand, and it's made of glass and metal. It has a double-layer aluminium alloy frame which makes the phone look durable. The front has a Corning Gorilla 5 protection. There's a large 6.5-inch 1080p plus Super AMOLED screen with a pixel density of 402 ppi, which is pretty great. Watching videos on this phone is a sheer delight in the 20:9 ratio. There's a notch on top though, and this is not a full view display, but the colors are punchy and it truly is a captivating screen. The audio is spot on too. Like in the Realme X and XT, the X2 Pro also comes with Dolby Atmos dual surround sound speakers. Using the Realme X2 Pro is a phenomenal experience. Yes, the ColorOS 6 that this phone runs on is nice, but it's the scrolling experience that left us impressed. This is because of the 90Hz refresh rate on the screen. Once you use this high refresh rate, it's hard to go back to a 60Hz screen, especially if you're a gamer. The screen also houses an in-display fingerprint scanner which is pretty fast on this phone. This is Realme's most expensive phone till date. The X2 Pro starts at 29,999 rupees for the 8GB RAM, 128GB storage variant, and 33,999 rupees for the 12GB RAM, 256GB storage variant. The Master Edition is priced at just 1,000 rupees more. That makes it 34,999 rupees. At this price, what kind of competition is Realme taking on, and are they managing to undercut competition like Xiaomi?
Pricing always comes secondary. We always devise the product first, and Realme is never about the pricing. While we are talking about some other so-called flagships, I don't call that just a flagship with a chipset. Flagship is not just about having a premium chipset. If I have an 8 series chipset, that doesn't mean that is a flagship. I have a Snapdragon 855 Plus. It's one of the best chipsets right now. But having just that doesn't define a flagship. Chipset cannot just define a flagship. Chipset can define that it can help you to do a multitasking, but cannot define that is the only reason why it's a flagship. So the other names what you said, that what I believe is just about a chipset. There's no other things what a user can get benefits out of it.
Under the hood, the Realme X2 Pro runs on the Snapdragon 855 Plus chipset. The RAM on both variants of the phone is very good, and so this is a phone that runs full speed. We played PUBG on this phone and it was very smooth. The 90Hz screen really shines through in such games. There's a 4000 mAh battery which makes the phone last a comfortable 1 day, but the real game changer here is the 50-watt VOOC charger that comes in the box itself. The phone doesn't heat up with this powerful charger. On the optics front, this has the Realme XT's 64-megapixel primary shooter. We know this is a good lens and the detail in shots are impressive. The default mode is not 64-megapixel though. There is a 13-megapixel telephoto lens, a 2-megapixel depth lens and an 8-megapixel wide-angle sensor which also doubles up as the macro lens. Macro shots were good as well, and these range of lenses gives it a variety of shots that one can choose from. In fact, there is a 20x hybrid zoom which is not the best in the business, but it's there on the phone. The Nightscape mode took good shots with not much graininess or loss in detail. The front camera has a great portrait mode which captures a lot of detail. The videos we took on this were 4K and they were quite stable. And now for the verdict on the Realme X2 Pro. Realme has jumped into the world of flagships with this phone at around 30,000 rupees. While it looks too good to be true on paper, it performs well as well, and Realme has left no stone unturned. This phone will leave competition like Xiaomi and OnePlus shaking in their boots. And while we do wish the price was a bit lower, it could very well be the flagship killer of 2019.
And now let's move on to our other big top story, the Vivo U20. Once again, this is a phone that a lot of people have been waiting for. This plays into that category that is really the hottest category in India. Under 10,000 rupees with absolutely no features that get left out. And this one actually goes even further. 6 GB RAM in this one, the one I have in my hand. 64 GB is the storage. 5,000 mAh battery. Qualcomm 675 is the processor with an AI engine, which of course is an important part of it. An 18-watt fast charger, again, that comes in the box, and it's got a triple rear camera. And this, all of this, under 10,000 rupees. The Vivo U20.
Vivo is on a roll. The company has been launching phone after phone, making it difficult for us to keep up. But hey, we are trying. This is the Vivo U20, and this isn't the last phone Vivo is launching this year. The Vivo U20 just got official, and we have managed to get our hands on it. It's been a week since we have been using this phone, and here is what we think of this budget offering from Vivo. The phone didn't die on us. Now that is a major plus. This phone comes with a 5,000 mAh of battery with 18-watt fast charger in the box. We used it for everything, and it stayed up with us all day. The Vivo U20 is an alright looking phone. Turn it around and the back and the blue-purple metal finish back cover hits you. It's not gaudy, but it isn't subtle either. The phone isn't thin or particularly light, but the rounded edges do make this phone easy to hold and use. There is a 3.5mm headphone jack on board. Then there is a fingerprint scanner at the back which works well, and there is also an option to unlock the phone using Face Unlock. There is a drop notch on the front. The U20 comes with one of the largest displays in this segment with 6.53 inches with Full HD+. The screen is sharp and the colors are vivid. And honestly, for a phone priced this low, Vivo has given a pretty good display. Also, because the screen real estate is so much, viewing content on it is a good experience. Even on the optics front, Vivo doesn't compromise. There is a triple rear camera setup on the U20 with a 16-megapixel primary lens, an 8-megapixel super wide lens, and a 2-megapixel super macro. The minute we turn on the camera app, there is an icon on the right that opens the options of the ultra-wide, bokeh, and super macro on the screen, making it easy to switch. The shots came out really well with great details. The super macro is impressive, and even the night mode is good. The front camera is a 16-megapixel lens which clicks decent selfies. There are a lot of modes for the front camera too. The U20 is a performer. It comes with a Snapdragon 675 with an AI engine, the same one in Vivo's premium phone, the V17 Pro. We have the 6GB variant for review, which comes with 64GB internal memory. There is a 4GB variant too. We have been using this phone and we didn't face any issues in our time with it. There is an ultra gaming mode to enhance the experience. There is FunTouch OS 9 on top of Android 9, and there are many preloaded apps on the phone, but they don't clutter the phone. The Cellguru verdict. The Vivo U20 sets a benchmark for sub-10K phones, which in our opinion is a huge win for Vivo. While we were not so impressed with its looks, the U20 is a performer and it doesn't die on you, which makes it a great buy on a budget.
We'll take a quick break right now on the show. Lots coming up right after the break. And you know the other series we've been doing, Last Phone Standing, slowly but surely we are moving on to our nominees for each category. Today we're going to cover best phones released in 2019 under 20,000 rupees.
The list of the best phones this year continues, and today we are talking about the best phones under 20,000 rupees. This is a category where the distinction between premium and affordable phones is very blurry. All the phones here bring stellar specs and yet manage to undercut each other with their price. So let's get started with this list. Realme has only been moving from strength to strength, and the Realme XT made a bold move this year with a price tag of 15,999 rupees and by bringing a 64-megapixel primary lens to this segment. It has a notch and it doesn't have a full view display like the Realme X. It packs in a 4000 mAh battery and a Snapdragon 712 processor. Oppo K3 has a large 6.5-inch AMOLED display with an in-display fingerprint scanner. The phone focuses on optics and brings the dual camera setup with a 16-megapixel primary lens. It is powered by the Snapdragon 710 chipset. The base variant comes with 6GB RAM and is priced at 16,990 rupees currently. Xiaomi's Redmi K20 just about makes it to this category with a recent price cut that makes its price 19,999 rupees. This is a phone that rides high on aesthetics, comes with mid-range specs like the Snapdragon 730 processor, and has a pop-up front camera. There's a triple rear camera with a 48-megapixel lens. Vivo launched many phones this year at different price points, and the Z1 X belongs to the sub-20k category with a starting price of 16,990 rupees. This phone too sticks with the Snapdragon 712 chipset and has a 4500 mAh battery. The triple camera is led by a 48-megapixel one, and there's a 32-megapixel front camera on board too. Motorola One Vision stands out from the rest of the Moto family with the punch-hole camera in the display and its unique 21:9 aspect ratio. It is a phone meant for watching content and it has a 6.3-inch screen. There's a 48-megapixel camera on this phone too, and it has a dedicated night vision mode. The Moto One Vision also comes with turbo power charge, which can juice up the entire phone in 2 hours. This phone starts at 17,999 rupees currently. The Samsung Galaxy A50 got an upgrade with the A50s. It comes with a new design and a punchy 6.4-inch Full HD Plus Super AMOLED display. It comes with the Exynos 9611 processor and a 48-megapixel primary shooter. It also packs in a 4000 mAh battery and bears a price tag of 19,999 rupees. All these phones come pretty neck to neck with their specifications, but how they fare with their performance, camera and design differs. And so we will do the hard job of picking only one winner in our year-end special episode from this category. Stay tuned for it.
That then was the Cell Guru show for this week. Like I said, it was a problem solver in every which way. But it's not only about problems, it's also about the whiz bang factor. Lots of great stuff coming up next week. See you then.